Hey folks, welcome back to Stoic Talks. Picture this. You've been running after them constantly, chasing, bending over backward to make them notice you. You think if you just try harder, if you just give a little more, they'll finally realize your worth. But guess what? They won't. Not when you're always the one running after them like they're the prize. Let me ask you something. Who made them so special? Who made them the center of your world? Because from where I'm standing, it's you. You're the one lowering yourself, giving them all the power while you wait around like a desperate soul, hoping for scraps of attention. It's time to hit you with the hard truth. You are nothing more than an option to them. That's why they don't care. That's why they take you for granted. They know you're always going to be there, always going to run after them, no matter how much they pull away. And let me tell you, the more you chase, the faster they'll run. You're playing right into their hands, and it's heartbreaking. They don't respect you because you don't respect yourself. But today, that stops. Today, you flip the script. You stop running after them. You pull back all that energy, all that attention, and you watch. Watch what happens when you finally value yourself. This isn't just about getting them to notice you. It's about reclaiming your power. You're not here to beg for their time, their validation. You're better than that, and it's time you start living like it. They've been using your desire, your need for attention to keep you on a leash. But the second you stop, the second you show them you're not their puppet anymore, that's when everything changes. You've been sitting there playing the role of the chaser, believing that their approval will fix everything. You've been living a lie, and today you shatter that lie. You stop running, you stop chasing, you pull back, and you let them feel your absence. Because trust me, when you do, that's when they'll start realizing what they lost. Stick with me until the end, because this isn't just another video. This is your wake-up call. You've wasted enough time running after someone who doesn't even see your worth. Now, it's time to watch what happens when they start running after you. Drop everything, hit that like button if you're ready to take control, and let's dive into the power that comes from finally stopping the chase. But before we dive deep, here is a challenge for you. You have to take control of your life. You have to refuse to live by their rules, refuse to bend for their approval. Believe me, you have to accept this challenge. Affirm with me, I control my story. Lock this into your memory, and whenever you feel the need to chase or doubt your worth, remind yourself of it. And if you're truly ready to stand strong, write it in the comments. Throw it out there. Let them see where you stand, and if you think they won't see, you don't care. Because this isn't for them anymore. This is for you. So, accept this challenge. Drop it in the comments. I control my story. And with this energy, let's get started. Now folks, let's get real for a second. Believe me, this is something very important, the heart of this video, so please leave whatever else you're doing and give me your full attention here. You've watched this video up to this point feeling motivated, and you decided to give them the absence treatment. You decided to stop running after them. You walked away, or maybe if you're trying to attract someone new, you stopped chasing after them, stopped begging for their attention. Now what? You're sitting there waiting for them to see your worth. Did they come back? Is this some magical moment where they suddenly start seeing your value? Like poof, they realized, oh, how could I not see how special they are? Wow, sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it? Well, that's a trap. There's nothing magical happening here. And let me be straight with you. They won't come back with just that catchy move of you stopping the chase. There's more to this story, more depth that others don't talk about. Here's the reality. When you stop running after them and sit there waiting for them to notice you, you're still giving them your power. It's like you're not really controlling yourself. You're just sitting in the same old waiting room, hoping they'll call your number. It's still them controlling you. Most people will tell you that once you stop running after them, they'll magically come running back to you. But you know what? It won't happen like that. Why? Because they can still see that you're not in control. You're still waiting for their validation, still hoping for them to take notice. And the moment they do, you'll come crawling back. That's why you need to keep our affirmation close. I control my story. When you decide to stop running after them, it's not about sitting around waiting for them to take notice. No, you have to take powerful actions that show them the real you, the side they've never truly seen. They'll come back, not because you've stopped chasing them, but because they'll see you thriving without them. Not because you're waiting for them to realize your worth, but because they'll see you living your life in full control, building a world where their presence doesn't define you. That's what we'll discuss in the next part of this video. Stay with me, and if you appreciate what we're doing here, helping you regain your power, hit that like button under this video. Help this message reach more people like you who need this shift in their life. Done liking the video? Thank you. Now it's time to take action. Let's dive into the first step. Number 1, hide your desperation. Now, folks, as soon as you stop chasing them, you have to make sure that you hide your desperation. This is the foundation of everything we're about to build. Why? Because even if you pull back physically, if they can sense that you're still desperate for their attention, it's game over. They'll see right through it, and instead of gaining respect or making them miss you, you'll be giving off that same needy energy that pushed them away in the first place. Desperation leaks out in ways you don't even realize, and it kills any chance you have of flipping the power dynamic. Let's be real here. Desperation is like wearing a sign that says, "I need you to validate me." It's that energy that says you're willing to do anything for their attention, even if you're not chasing anymore. And trust me, people can smell desperation from a mile away. It's in the way you over-explain yourself, the way you constantly check if they've seen your messages, the way you wait by the phone hoping they'll call. It's that voice in your head that wonders if they're thinking about you every time you see a notification pop up. You've got to kill that vibe right now. The moment they sense desperation, you've handed all your power back to them. They'll know that even though you've stopped running physically, emotionally, you're still on your knees begging for scraps of their attention. That's why the first step in this journey is hiding your desperation, even when it feels difficult. How do you do this? First, shift your mindset. You are no longer in a position where their validation determines your worth. Stop thinking about them and start thinking about yourself. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Focus on what makes you feel good, whether it's hitting the gym, diving into a project you're passionate about, or spending time with people who truly value you. Do things that remind you that you're whole on your own. You have to build a life where their attention isn't the center of your universe. Next, control your reactions. If they text you, don't respond right away. Don't let them see that you're sitting there waiting for any scrap of attention they throw your way. Take your time. Show them that you have a life outside of them. When you finally do respond, keep it cool, composed, and confident. You don't owe them an explanation for where you've been or why you're suddenly harder to reach. You're showing them without saying a word that you are no longer desperate for their approval. What if it feels difficult? And believe me, It will feel difficult at times. Your mind will try to trick you, telling you that if you don't show them you still care, they'll forget about you. But let me tell you this, they won't. In fact, the more you hide your desperation and live your life confidently, the more they'll start wondering what's going on. What changed? Why are you not reacting like you used to? That's when the tables start to turn, and they start to feel the absence of your desperation. They'll start missing the old version of you, the one who was always available, always waiting, and that's when they start chasing. But when it gets tough, when the temptation to reach out or break down kicks in, you've got to hold tight to this affirmation. I control my emotions. Say it, believe it, own it, because that's where the real power lies. You can't control their actions, but you can control yours. You can control how much of your energy you give them, and right now, you're pulling that energy back. You're taking back your power. Desperation is like a weight pulling you down, and every time you let it show, you're sinking further into a hole you don't want to be in. So when it feels tough, remind yourself why you're doing this. You're doing this for you. You're doing this because you deserve more than to be someone's second choice or backup plan. You deserve to be valued, not for what you can give or how much you can chase, but for who you are. And let's not forget, hiding your desperation isn't about being fake or playing games. It's about protecting your peace. It's about choosing yourself over the need for someone else's attention. It's about stepping into your worth and refusing to let anyone else determine how you feel about yourself. You are not here to beg for love, attention, or validation. You're here to create a life that's so full, so vibrant, that people naturally want to be a part of it. But here's the catch. None of this will work if you don't fully believe it. If deep down you're still hoping for their validation, it'll show. So make a decision right now to stop living for their approval. Hide that desperation. Focus on yourself. And when they come back, and believe me, they will, you'll be in a position where you don't even need them anymore. And that, my friends, is the most attractive thing in the world. Remember this affirmation as we move forward. I control my emotions. Write it in the comments. Let them know where you stand. You're no longer running after anyone, and you're certainly not waiting around for someone else to give you your worth. You're in control now. You've hidden your desperation, and that's just the beginning. Stay with me, because this is just the first step of the transformation. The real power is coming next. Number 2, create uncertainty. Now, as soon as you stop running after them, and you've hidden your desperation, the next thing you need to do is create uncertainty. This step is crucial, and let me tell you why. People are comfortable when they think they know exactly how you're going to act, how you feel, and what you're going to do next. When you become predictable, you lose power. But when you create uncertainty, you make them start questioning everything. And guess what? That uncertainty is what will make them start running after you. The truth is, people are attracted to the unknown. They love the thrill of trying to figure someone out. They love the chase, and right now, you're giving them the chase they never saw coming. When you stop giving them everything, when you stop being predictable, you create that void, that uncertainty that pulls them in like magnets. Now, how do you create uncertainty? First of all, stop being so available. The moment you stop running after them, the next thing you need to do is create space. When you stop being available every time they text or call, they begin to wonder why. Why aren't you responding right away? Why haven't you reached out? When you stop showing up when they expect you to, they start questioning what you're doing. You start becoming an enigma, and trust me, people hate not knowing what's going on in your life. Now don't misunderstand me. This doesn't mean you start playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It means you stop giving them all the answers. Don't give them everything all the time. Be more private about your life. Be selective about how much you share, and stop constantly offering up your time and energy. This uncertainty will have them wondering, what's going on with them? Why are they acting different? And trust me, that curiosity will make them come after you. But you have to commit to it. If you're constantly giving them all the answers, all your time, all your energy, you'll never create that spark of curiosity. So, focus on being a bit more mysterious. When they reach out, don't answer right away. Don't reveal everything about your day. When they ask you how you are, give them a little less than they expect. Show them that you're someone with boundaries, someone who has a life outside of them. This will create a space where they can't predict you, and that's when they start feeling the need to chase. But there's more to it. Creating uncertainty is also about not letting them know exactly how you feel all the time. Don't constantly reassure them that you're okay, that everything is fine. Let them wonder. Let them feel like they need to check in on you, to make sure you're still interested. When you stop giving them everything, you create the perfect space for them to start coming after you. Number 3, reclaim your time. Now that you've stopped chasing, hidden your desperation, and created uncertainty, it's time to move into the next powerful step. Reclaim your time. This is where you stop making them the center of your universe and start focusing on the one person who truly deserves your time. You think about how much energy you've wasted, how many hours you've spent waiting for their response, obsessing over their attention, or rearranging your schedule just to fit into theirs. It's exhausting, but here's the truth. The more you give your time freely, the less they value it. They think you'll always be there, ready to drop everything at a moment's notice. But the moment you reclaim your time, you send a message that your life is just as valuable, if not more, than theirs. Reclaiming your time means investing that energy back into yourself. It's time to stop wasting hours waiting for their attention and start using that time to build something greater for yourself. Whether it's learning a new skill, hitting the gym, focusing on your work, or spending time with people who actually appreciate you, every second you pour into yourself makes you stronger, more attractive, and more fulfilled. It shows them and yourself that you have your own life, your own goals, and that you're not just sitting around waiting for them. Let's break this down. If you're constantly available, always ready to jump whenever they reach out, you're telling them that your time doesn't have the same value as theirs. But when you start prioritizing yourself, when you show them that your time is precious, they begin to realize they need to earn it. You're not going to be there at their beck and call anymore, and that's when they start craving your attention even more. If you're trying to attract someone new, reclaiming your time is a game changer. Instead of focusing on when they'll text back or when they'll make plans, focus on yourself. The moment they realize that your world doesn't revolve around them, they'll start wondering why. They'll notice that your time is being spent elsewhere, and it'll create that sense of intrigue that keeps them coming back for more. They'll want to know why you're so busy, why you're not as available, and that's when they start chasing you. But here's the catch. It won't be easy. You'll feel the temptation to check your phone, to respond immediately, to make yourself available just in case they want to hang out. Resist that urge. Every time you feel it, remind yourself, my time is valuable. Say it, believe it, and live by it. You don't have endless hours to waste on someone who doesn't value you. Reclaiming your time isn't just about making them miss you. It's about regaining control over your life. It's about choosing to invest in yourself instead of giving away your energy to someone who hasn't earned it. And the more you do this, the more they'll see that your time is precious and that they need to work for it. Here's your affirmation. My time is valuable. Say it, believe it, and write it down for once and all in the comments. Let them know you're no longer waiting, no longer wasting energy. You're reclaiming your time and putting yourself first. This is the moment you stop letting others dictate your worth and start showing them that your time is precious. But there are more steps you must take, as the story right now is incomplete. So stay with me tight till the end. Number 4. Raise your standards. Now that you've reclaimed your time, it's time to take the next step and raise your standards. This is the part where you stop settling for less than what you deserve and start demanding the respect, attention, and effort that matches your worth. Think about it. How many times have you let things slide? How many times have you accepted half-hearted effort, ignored red flags, or excused behavior that deep down you knew wasn't okay? Every time you lower your standards to keep someone around, you're telling them that they can get away with giving you less than you deserve, but no more. It's time to raise the bar and make them work for your attention. When you raise your standards, you change the way people approach you. You're no longer the person who's willing to tolerate disrespect, indifference, or minimal effort. You become someone who commands more. And let me tell you, when people realize that you won't settle for anything less than what you deserve, they start stepping up. They start giving more, doing more, and trying harder because they know they have to meet your new expectations. If you're in a relationship, raising your standards means no longer accepting excuses or settling for bare minimum efforts. If they're used to giving you half of what you need, you let them know that won't fly anymore. You're not here to tolerate mediocrity. You're here for real effort, real respect, and real commitment. And if they can't give you that, you walk away with your head held high, knowing that someone else will. If you're trying to attract someone new, this is even more powerful. When they see that you hold yourself to higher standards, they'll feel the need to rise to the occasion. They'll understand that you're not someone who will just take whatever they offer. You're selective, you're valuable, and they need to prove themselves worthy of your time and attention. Raising your standards isn't just about them, it's about you. It's about deciding that you're worth more than the crumbs you've been settling for. It's about knowing that you bring value to the table, and you deserve someone who sees that and treats you accordingly. Here's your affirmation. I deserve the best. Say it, believe it, and write it down for once and all in the comments. Let them know that you've raised the bar, that you're no longer accepting less than what you deserve. This is your time to demand more and to receive it. You're no longer waiting for someone to give you permission to have high standards. You're setting the rules now. Now let us move towards our next powerful move. Number 5, stop explaining yourself. Now that you've raised your standards, it's time to embrace another powerful step. Stop explaining yourself. This one is a game changer because it's about reclaiming your voice, your decisions, and your boundaries without feeling the need to justify them to anyone. Think about it. How often do you find yourself explaining your actions, your feelings, or your choices just to make someone else feel comfortable? Every time you over-explain, you're giving away your power. You're telling them that you need their approval, that somehow they have the right to question your decisions. But let me be clear, they don't. You don't owe anyone an explanation for living your life on your terms. When you stop explaining yourself, you set boundaries that demand respect. You show people that your choices are final, that your decisions are yours to make, and that you don't need to justify why you're doing something. This not only makes you more confident, but it also makes you more mysterious, more intriguing. People are naturally drawn to those who are firm in their decisions without the need to explain every move. If you're in a relationship, this means you stop bending over backward to explain why you need certain things, why you have boundaries, or why you're making a particular choice. You don't owe them that. Your boundaries are your own, and if they respect you, they'll respect your decisions. No explanations needed. If they can't handle that, then they're not worth your time. For those trying to attract someone new, this is incredibly powerful. The moment you stop explaining yourself, you show them that you're not here to seek their approval. You're here to live your life, and if they want to be part of it, they'll have to respect that. When you're not constantly justifying your actions, it creates an air of confidence that is undeniably attractive. You become someone they want to figure out, someone they want to chase, because you're not laying everything out for them. But here's the catch. It's not easy to stop explaining yourself, especially when you've been conditioned to feel like you owe people an explanation for everything. You might feel uncomfortable or even guilty at first, but that's just part of the process. The truth is, the more you explain, the more they expect it, and the less you explain, the more they'll start respecting your boundaries. What if they ask for an explanation? Simple. Just don't give one. If they ask why you're acting differently, why you're no longer available, or why you're making certain choices, keep it short. A simple, "I'm focused on myself," or "that's just what I need right now," is all you need to say. Anything more, and you're back to justifying yourself. And remember, you don't owe them that. Here's your affirmation. I stand by my choices. Say it, believe it, and write it down for once and all in the comments. Let them know you're no longer in the business of explaining yourself. You're standing firm in your decisions, and anyone who truly respects you won't need an explanation. They'll just accept it. This step is key to reclaiming your power, your confidence, and your voice. And remember, this is just the beginning. Stay with me, because the next steps will push your transformation even further. Today is the day you stop seeking approval and start living for yourself. Number 6, showcase your growth. Now that you've stopped explaining yourself, it's time to step into the next level of your transformation. Showcase your growth. This is where you really make them sit up and take notice. You've made internal changes, raised your standards, and reclaimed your time. Now it's time to show the world and them how far you've come. When you showcase your growth, you're not just telling them that you've changed. You're showing them through your actions, your mindset, and the way you carry yourself. It's not about boasting or proving anything. It's about letting your evolution speak for itself. People are naturally drawn to growth and progress. When they see you leveling up, whether it's emotionally, mentally, or even physically, they'll start to feel the gap widening. They'll realize that while they've been stuck in the same place, you've been evolving, and trust me, that makes them take notice. If you're in a relationship, showcasing your growth is powerful. Maybe they're used to seeing you as someone who was always available, always willing to bend, but now you've grown. You've learned to set boundaries, to take care of yourself, and to focus on your own needs. Let them see this. Let them see how you're thriving on your own, how you've built a life that's full of purpose and strength. The more they see that, the more they'll realize what they're missing out on, and that's when they'll start regretting how they've treated you. For those trying to attract someone new, This step is a game changer. When you're constantly evolving, growing, and improving, it makes you magnetic. People want to be around those who are pushing themselves forward, not staying stagnant. Showcase your growth by pursuing your passions, by stepping into new opportunities, by showing them that your world is full of richness, with or without them in it. The more they see how far you've come, the more they'll want to be a part of your journey. Now, showcasing your growth doesn't mean you need to post every accomplishment online or go out of your way to flaunt your progress. It's about being consistent in your actions. It's about showing up as a better version of yourself every day, whether that's through taking care of your health, pursuing new goals, or even just your mindset shift. When people see that you're not the same person you were before, that you've grown into someone even more confident and capable, they can't help but be drawn to that energy. But what if it feels hard? What if you're not sure if your growth is visible? This is where patience and consistency come into play. Growth doesn't happen overnight, and people might not notice it immediately. But over time, as you continue to evolve, they'll see the shift. They'll see the way you carry yourself differently, how your energy is stronger, more assured, and when they do, that's when they'll realize how much they underestimated you. Here's your affirmation: I am always growing. Say it, believe it, and write it down for once and all in the comments. Let them know that you're constantly evolving, constantly leveling up, and that your growth is undeniable. Remember, this is just another step in the journey. Stay with me because we're not done yet. The next steps will solidify your transformation, and by the end of this, you'll be someone they can't ignore. So let's keep moving forward. Your growth is just getting started. Number 7. Master the power of no. Now that you've showcased your growth, it's time to step into one of the most powerful moves in your transformation. Master the power of no. This isn't just about learning to say no, it's about using no to reclaim your control, protect your peace, and set boundaries that command respect. Think about it. How often have you said yes to things that didn't serve you, to people who didn't value your time, or to situations that drained your energy? Every time you said yes when you really wanted to say no, you were giving away a piece of your power. But when you learn to say no, you regain that power. You become someone who values their own time, energy, and emotional well-being above anyone else's demands. Here's the reality. When you can confidently say no, people start to take you more seriously. They realize that your time and energy aren't available for just anyone. You're not bending over backward to accommodate them, and you're not going to sacrifice your own needs for someone else's convenience. This sends a clear message. You're someone with standards, someone who respects themselves, and someone who won't tolerate anything less than what you deserve. If you're in a relationship, mastering the power of no is essential. Maybe in the past, you've said yes to things you didn't want to do just to keep the peace or make them happy, but not anymore. Now, you say no to the things that don't align with your values, that drain your energy, or that disrespect your boundaries. This isn't about being difficult or uncooperative. It's about showing them that your needs matter too. When you stop saying yes to everything, you make space for things that truly serve you, and you teach them how to treat you. For those trying to attract someone new, saying no is even more powerful. When they see that you're not someone who's going to drop everything for them or always be available at their convenience, they'll start to value your time more. People are naturally drawn to those who have boundaries, to those who aren't easily swayed or manipulated. Saying no makes you stand out. It shows them that you're someone who knows what they want and you're not afraid to turn down what doesn't serve you. But what if saying no feels difficult? What if you're used to being a people pleaser or feel guilty for setting boundaries? This is where you have to remind yourself that saying no isn't selfish. It's necessary. Every time you say no, you're saying yes to yourself, to your growth, and to your peace. It's about protecting your time and energy so that you can continue to thrive, rather than giving it away to people or situations that don't deserve it. Here's your affirmation. I protect my energy. Say it, believe it, and write it down for once and all in the comments. Let them know that you're no longer afraid to say no, and that you value yourself too much to settle for anything that doesn't align with your highest self. Mastering the power of no is one of the most liberating steps in this transformation. It shows others that you're serious about your boundaries, and it shows yourself that you're committed to protecting your peace. So stay with me, because we're just getting started. The next steps are going to push this transformation even further. Keep moving forward. You're becoming unstoppable. Number 8. Embody emotional independence. Now that you've mastered the power of no, it's time to take an even bigger step. Embody emotional independence. This is where everything starts to shift, because when you are emotionally independent, you no longer rely on anyone else for your happiness, your self-worth, or your sense of stability. You are in control, and nothing is more powerful than that. Emotional independence means that you stop waiting for someone to validate you, to make you feel good, or to fill any emotional gaps in your life. It's the realization that no one is responsible for your happiness except you. When you embody emotional independence, you take full ownership of your feelings, your reactions, and your emotional well-being. And when you do that, people can no longer play with your emotions. They can no longer manipulate you because they no longer have that power over you. If you're in a relationship, embodying emotional independence changes everything. Maybe you've been used to looking to your partner for constant reassurance, approval, or validation. But now you don't need that anymore. You're grounded in your own sense of self. You no longer rely on them to fill the emotional gaps in your life. And this is when the power balance starts to shift. They will start to see you as someone who stands strong on their own, someone who doesn't need constant attention to feel valued. And that is magnetic. That is what makes them start chasing you. If you're trying to attract someone new, emotional independence is one of the most attractive qualities you can embody. People are drawn to those who don't need them to feel whole. When you're emotionally independent, you become someone they want to be with, not someone they feel obligated to take care of. They'll see that you're not clingy, not waiting around for them to make you feel important. And that makes them want to be around you even more, because now you're a person of strength, confidence, and inner peace. Here's the thing. Embodying emotional independence doesn't mean you don't feel emotions or that you shut people out. It means that you're in control of your emotional state, that your peace of mind is not dependent on anyone else's behavior. You can still enjoy connections, still build relationships, but you do so from a place of strength, not neediness. It's about having the ability to be happy on your own, to feel whole without needing someone else to fill the void. What if it feels difficult? What if you're used to depending on others for emotional validation? This is where the real work begins. You have to build that emotional strength within yourself. Start by focusing on the things that bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment outside of other people's approval, whether it's your passions, your goals, or simply spending time nurturing your own self-care. These things become the foundation of your emotional independence. Here's your affirmation. I am in control of my emotions. Say it, believe it, and write it down for once and all in the comments. Let them know that you're no longer reliant on anyone else for your happiness or peace of mind. You're taking ownership of your emotional world. Embodying emotional independence is one of the most powerful shifts you can make. It takes you from a place of need to a place of power, from relying on others to finding strength within yourself. And once you do this, the entire dynamic changes. They'll see that you're not chasing, not waiting, and not dependent, and that's when they'll start realizing your true worth. Stay with me, because the final step is coming, and it's going to tie everything together. You're about to fully step into your power, so let's keep going. This transformation is only getting stronger. Number 9. Command attention. Don't seek it. You've embraced emotional independence, and now it's time to step into the final and most powerful part of your transformation. Command attention. Don't seek it. This is the point where you stop looking for approval, validation, or recognition from others, and instead, you become someone they can't ignore. This is when they start chasing you. When you command attention, you're not out there trying to get people to notice you or beg for their approval. You let your actions, your presence, and your energy speak for themselves. You walk into a room and own it, not because you're loud or demanding, but because you carry yourself with confidence and certainty. You know your worth, and that quiet, unwavering confidence is magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who don't need validation from others to feel complete. If you're in a relationship, this is the moment they realize they're not the center of your world anymore, and that's when the chase begins. They'll see that you're thriving, that you're not constantly seeking their attention, and that your life is full without them having to validate it. That's when they start to feel your absence and crave your presence. For those trying to attract someone new, the moment you stop seeking attention and start commanding it through your actions, you become someone they want to be around. They'll feel the shift in energy. They'll see that you're not chasing, and that makes you infinitely more desirable. Why? Because people want to be around those who are secure in themselves. Here's your final affirmation. I command attention effortlessly. Say it, believe it, and write it down for once and all in the comments. Let them know that you're no longer seeking approval. You're commanding respect through your actions, through your growth, and through your presence. This is when they start chasing you. This is when the power shifts entirely in your favor. You've come full circle, and now you're in control. You've now completed the journey and reclaimed your power. You've stopped chasing. You've embodied emotional independence, and now you command attention effortlessly. If this transformation has empowered you, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with others who need to take back control of their lives. Don't keep this to yourself. Help others experience the same shift. Drop your affirmations in the comments and let the world know where you stand. Stay with me for more content that will keep pushing you toward becoming the best version of yourself. See you in the next video.